Buddy, how I am?
What's up, man? All good here.
It's all happening. It's all happening. Well, man, of course, the new long-awaited Scar Symmetry album, the Singularity Phase II Xenotaph. Is that how you pronounce it properly?
I suppose so, yeah.
Feel free to correct me, bro.
No, that's that sounded close enough. And I don't know, like I'm Swedish. What do I know?
A lot more than me.
English?
Hey, it's mate. You speak very well English, better than mine. Mine's Australian.
Yeah, well,
I think sounds backwards.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, we do. You know, we get that all the time. But of course, mate, it's out on June 9, and it's been 9 years. 9 years since the first installment. And
Yeah.
holy shit, dude, this album is savage. It's got teeth, man. It's really good.
Oh, that pleases me a lot. It
Man.
it rubs my ego in funny ways.
I'm glad because
Yes.
it's well worth it, man. And mate, obviously a ton of stuff has happened in that time. But how far back do the seeds of this album actually go?
I wrote the album, or at least most of it, in 16.
Oh wow, that was like 2
Yeah.
years ago. No, shows how far back it goes, man.
Yeah, it's almost hard to count how many years it's been. Yeah, so I wrote the songs in 16. We had the general synopsis of the storyline for the entire trilogy. We had that done back in 13 when we started working on the phase 1. So we had the basic idea of what it was gonna be about, phase 2. But we wrote the music and the lyrics in 16, and then I recorded most of the like principal recordings, drums, bass, rhythm guitars, lead vocals, in 16 and 17.
Right there where you're sitting, is that where it all came together?
No, it came together in the apartment we used to have a couple of years ago. With my and my wife, we bought ourselves a house. So
Congrats.
which is kind of nice, big thing for us.
It is a big thing. Like it's a big life thing. I did that a couple of
Yes.
years ago too, right before, the whole thing went crazy. So we got lucky there. But man, it's good being able to put holes in walls and not worry about it.
Yeah, we're just building a new kitchen. The house has a small kitchen, but we have a large dining area that is adjacent to the like TV room, and so we're always hanging in the dining area and the TV room, and then we go out in this tiny little kitchen to cook food, and when you're in there, like, how are you guys doing out there? When you're entertaining guests. So we figured like we'll build a big kitchen in the dining room instead.
Man,
And then so it's gonna be super nice. So tomorrow I've got plenty of this entire day is full of interviews. I'm sitting here all day talking about myself, which is nice, and I'll do the same tomorrow. But tomorrow I also will have the carpenter and the electrician here, so the unfortunate interviewers tomorrow will have to endure
it's
yeah,
drilling and stuff. I've done a couple like that. Well, it's actually dogs going off, but there's sometimes there'll be the next door and they're like,
at least it's not the bathroom where you have to maybe hammer up the tiles and I'm like,
look, what is that? You go, oh, don't worry about it. It's just the tradies.
It's the new music I'm working on. The next phase is going to be even more brutal.
You could sample that,
yeah,
and then just drop tune it all.
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, see, hey, I'm full of all bad ideas. But of course, this album is a lot darker too. Is that Where did that come from this time?
I guess in part it's from the storyline of the album, that the first phase one deals with the rise of artificial intelligence, and there's like still some kind of hope in that, and then it turns really dark when the AI becomes malevolent. So in phase two starts with the AI doing really evil shit, and they are hunting down and killing mankind, the unmodified mankind, the ones that has refused the new technology. So and aliens appears, and they are standing on the unmodified mankind side in the battle against AI. So it's like, oh yeah, tons of weird stuff happening. So I felt like it was appropriate. Like if the storyline is about like a big crazy intergalactic war, the music has to reflect that somehow. And but also aside from that, to have a trilogy, it made sense to me to try to make each part of the trilogy its own thing. So like we have Neo Humanity that goes into the more progressive and melodic direction. Then we have this one that goes more into the death metal part of our style, and then the third installment has to move elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll
You're not
we'll
going
talk
to tell me.
we'll talk about that next time.
Down the track.
Yeah, I mean I haven't really written anything for part three yet, so it's still might be subject to change.
Well, there's a
We'll
lot
see.
of, well, I got to say, there's a lot of themes. It's kind of, I don't know, man. It's kind of scaring the shit out of me, to be honest. Everything that's going on right now with all the AI
Yeah.
stuff and the UFO disclosure stuff, and it seems very relevant to what's going on with this album in a lot of ways. And
Yeah,
man, it's that creepy out of
it's
it.
it's kind of crazy that when we did the last album, the AI thing seemed like something that would be further away in the future. Not that, not that we are like really not knowledgeable about these things, uh, but here we are, and now the kind of things we're talking about in phase one is now it's like starting to take place. So yeah, so it's weird. There's also like a lot of promise in the AI coming up. Like if we as a society are able to handle it in a good way.
Yeah, but then didn't was it the guy from Google who was part of it's like, fuck this, I'm out. He's like, no, it's getting too crazy.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
get
yeah. I mean, there were like Elon Musk and some other uh, leading science people who were like, we should take 6 months and just chill and not develop this further until we have like some idea of what we do. But it's impossible to stop it because people are afraid, like what happens if China progresses a lot further, you know and or I don't know, some other uh what would you say, like regime that maybe not, they might not have the people's interests,
yeah.
their best interest in mind. When if someone who wants to use it to control and manipulate and you don't want them to have a head start.
No, but that's in itself is a crazy concept I didn't even think of. I was only thinking about it as one single thing, and that just opens up way more scary possibilities. Man, this album really got me in deep. I mean, I don't know about you, dude, but I do listen to the old, conspiracy and paranormal podcasts and stuff like that. So these themes sort of just really make me think. Well, there's some stuff I don't buy into, but do you subscribe to some of those? I wouldn't say beliefs, but ideas.
Not really, to be honest. It's not something that's a part of my life. Like I'm not, and it's like I'm not like listening to conspiracy theory podcasts and stuff. I mean I don't think, I don't listen to it and I'm like, oh, this might be real, but I'm also not giving it a lot of thought, and I'm not like these people are bullshitters either, because I'm not in that world, so to speak. So sometimes I read, it's like you read about people who are like, oh, the earth is flat. And then I'm like, no, I don't think, I'm pretty sure it's not
hills,
flat. Yeah. Uh, so some stuff, I mean, I just like, no, that it can't, the conspiracy can't, theory can't be true. But it's just not something that actually interests me a lot, because I want to play my guitar. I want to write music. I want to hang with my family. So and I want to live a normal life. So I got my vaccines, and everyone I know did, and everyone seemed to be healthy. Nothing weird happened to anyone that I know, but other people have a different view on it, and so it's not really part of my life.
So what you're saying is the alfoil, we call it, or tin foil, I don't know what you call it, stays in the cupboard, and it's for cooking only, not for hats.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just there was some things with this that, obviously with the concepts around the album that, it's definitely it's cool to think about, but it also scares me considering what the recent, things that have happened, as we just established. But where do you stand on AI when it comes to art? Have you messed around with it a little bit yourself? What do you think?
I haven't done a lot of the art thing myself, but like all the album artwork for this new album is made by an actual human artist. Same thing with the music videos are done by real people. But then during the marketing campaign, we did this kind of cheesy little thing where we posted like a picture, so like on Instagram, and we wrote captions that sort of pretended it's like an AI, like machine learning, like if people wrote the key word in our direct messages, it was like triggered an automatic response where if they wrote one word, they got to see the artwork, and if they did the other one, they got to see like a false artwork. And so and that was not AI generated, but it was just like to make something that would make it seem like it was an AI. Very, very cheesy, but it gets it gets like the crowd participating in the thing, instead of just clicking like or something. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to direct messages and do this. So it was kind of successful. And then when we released the second single, we came up with the idea of having people tell the AI, like the pretend AI, that what they thought that the artwork would be. Like the single is called Chrono Nautilus. What do you think the artwork should be? Then people wrote their ideas, and we picked out 4 ideas that we thought were nice, and then like one of the graphics people at Nuclear Blast, he ran that through one of the AI image creating things, and he got 4 different artworks, and then people could vote for which one they liked. So the one that was most popular, we use that as an image that we use when we promote the single. Also, it's because we don't have assigned a budget for single artwork. So yeah, so we posted that, and a lot of people were happy about it. But then a few were like thought we were cheaping out, not hiring a real artist, and so on.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, and I think that's a reflection of how weird it is where we are.
Yeah.
Because I understand that the people who are graphic designers, that it's scary, scary for people like that something can compete with them in such an easy way, and you can just write in a prompt and have it output, stuff that would take a lot of time to come up with, and it can output it in seconds. And it's only just begun. It's like fast forward a year or two, it's going to be like insanely much better. So
yeah, it's going to be insane. I've dabbled a little bit just for laughs, and man, it was crazy. Like even the stuff that I put in, I was like, this is just nuts, man.
Yeah.
Like even
I used Chat GPT for a couple of post captions that we did, because as I'm handling the promotion campaign from the band side, so I'm doing pretty much all of the interviews, and I'm like I'm really hands-on with Facebook and Instagram. So I'm making all of the posts, and Nuclear Blast, they have they have their own promotional department. So I have a social media manager and a product manager and artist manager, all these people that we get to work with. It's really amazing. But they provide me like with like a schedule of like, you should post this on this day and this on that day, and sometimes they have an image and an ID for a caption, and sometimes I can run with my own ideas. But it's really helpful. So we've been really active on the social medias promoting. So we were supposed to we post a first teaser, just a photo for the first single we put out, and it was like a picture of, it was from the album artwork, so it's like a picture of from inside of a spacecraft, and you can see like a big window, and you can see Earth surface down below. So I needed to come up with a nice caption, and I had done so many posts that I felt like I cannot come up with something, and I don't just want to leave that artwork there. I want to have something that tells a story, and I was struggling to come up with something, and then I was like, maybe I'll try Chat GPT, and I inputted something like I wanted to I want you to write me a poem called Watchers in the Sky, about a spacecraft that has suddenly emerged up in the heavens, and the people are wary about what it is. Are they here to be our saviors, or another threat that we have to deal with? So write me a poem about this in the style of William Shakespeare.
Oh, wow.
And like 5 seconds later, out came like a really nice poem in like proper Middle English, or what do you call it? And it's a kind of language that I couldn't write. It's not something I could do, but it outputted it. I made a couple of small changes, and I posted it, and it looks fantastic. And I did it for one more post in the style of William Shakespeare.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like it's something it enables me to be creative and do something in a style and a language that I don't have any command of, and I think that's really cool. And it's gonna be like that for many things, and people are gonna be able to make music, make write articles, like all do get help from a chat AI like that. Basically, to me, it feels like a super advanced search engine, like
Yeah, yeah.
a creative search engine.
I agree. I agree with that. I think if it's for something like that, that can be an assistant for sure. I did it the other day for a laugh with the king's coronation. I put in
Yeah.
I put in the queen comes back from the dead to fight her son in sword combat for the
Oh
throne.
shit.
And it went, here's a story about that. And I sent it to my mate who's he got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like what I just wanted to do something quirky and funny, and it did it. So maybe I can get it to write me some good jokes, and I can become a stand-up comedian because mine are terrible. So you never know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and I'm like seeing how advanced it has become so quickly, and I mean it's hard to imagine technology getting even more advanced, but it's not like I'm 49, so I've seen this my entire life, from the kind of video games we played in the 80s to what's happening now. So one has to imagine like what it will going to be like in the future, and this way where you can just prompt what you wanna have. So I'm thinking like there's gonna be a time where you like I wanna watch a movie, like, and then you prompt I would like to watch a really exciting movie about the dinosaurs living uh, on the ocean floor, and they can breathe underwater, and then and I wanted the music should sound like John Williams, even though he's gonna be long gone by then,
Yeah, yeah.
and I want to have a comic relief like that, and then and then you just press it, and then you get a output an entire movie. And I want Brad Pitt in the leading role, and I want a Thelma and Louise Brad Pitt, a young, handsome Brad Pitt.
Cowboy.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. So suddenly that seems to me like it could be possible. Like
Yeah.
everyone could be creative and sort of curate their own entertainment, and maybe we would go to Spotify and we will be like, I would like to hear a song like that. Uh, I want to hear a Scar Symmetry song, but with Bob Dylan on vocals, and so just and you can just have fun with it for days.
But would you do it? Would you put in and say, write me a riff or write me a song? Is that something that you, as a musician, as someone who writes phenomenal fucking riffs, would dabble in, or do you think that's too far for you as a musician?
Um, I mean, it's not something that I feel like I need,
Mm.
you know.
No, you
Uh,
don't need that.
and I mean, I love being creative. I love picking up the guitar and making things up from scratch.
Mm.
But so, I mean, when the tools arrive, I will probably try them, because I would be interested in seeing what it is. And there's like lots of ways you can trigger your own creativity.
Mm.
Like if I tell the AI, like I want write me a riff like this in this key and or tempo, and it outputs something, and maybe I could use that to trigger my own creativity and build upon, and you know, I don't know, like, and for people who are gonna grow up with this, like people who are maybe in their 20s or even younger, for them it's not gonna seem as weird, and it's gonna just be a natural part of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are gonna be like, what? Why do you do all of this tedious work from scratch? You can just like have fun with it, you know.
There's an enjoyment out of it. You know what I mean? There is an enjoyment out of, I guess, doing things from scratch, and I think people will
Yeah.
eventually go back to that. But of course, you've been playing some live shows of late. I've seen some footage. Man, it's
Hmm.
pretty fucking awesome. Like, how's it being back out there with Scar Symmetry and playing some of these new ones live? Has it been going down all right?
Yeah, it's been so much fun. We did a bunch of arena shows opening up for Meshuggah in Sweden, and the first show coincided with the release of the first single,
Sick.
so it was perfect, and we started playing that song, Scorched Quadrant, the very same night, uh, and it's gonna be a staple of our future live sets. I'm pretty sure.
It's a banger.
It's pretty good. It's goes really well in the live set as well. So
And the opener as well. How do you pronounce that one? It's
uh, Chrono Nautilus.
yeah, that's right. I'm not gonna butcher that one.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, that I had my headphones in and it almost melted my face off because I had it turned
Mhm.
all the way up. Just the way it kicks in. Man,
Yeah.
how's that one going down? Is that something you'd been jamming on live too?
We haven't actually. We released that song like 2 days before we had a festival appearance,
Mm.
and we were actually planning on playing it, but it's a fucker of a song.
Yes.
You know, it's it's so difficult on drums. It's so crazy difficult, and it's kind of difficult on guitar as well. And like the little pre-chorus thing with clean vocals, it's like three-part harmony,
Mm.
and the riff is like so it's really hard. So we everyone's been practicing it on their own, but we had a hard time getting a proper band rehearsal together. We were really rehearsed for the Meshuggah shows, but we couldn't really find the time to work on Chrono Nautilus for that show. So we decided to hold off on it and play it at the next show, which is a month from now.
Still got time to work it all out, iron out the
Yes,
yeah.
because I mean, if I mean, sometimes we play an old song, we pick up an old song on the set list, and maybe the first time we play it, we don't do the best version of it, but it's okay and no one cares. You know, well, people care, but it's not that bad. But if it's the very first song, we like if we premiere that new song in the live show, and we fuck it up royally, it's then that's gonna be the YouTube version, that people are gonna watch,
Out there
and we
forever.
yes, and it's gonna be embarrassing. Scar Symmetry can't play their own songs.
Yeah, Bloodmouth says. Yeah, man.
Yes.
I get
So
that, but I reckon you'll nail it. You guys will nail it for sure. But of course you did fill in for Frederick in Meshuggah. How was that, man?
yes.
That would have been a totally different experience, would you say? Or, your buddies. But I mean,
Uh,
time.
yeah, I mean their music is very like singular and unique. There's like what they do is it's so specific,
Mm.
and it's like there's a formula. Not to say that their music is formulaic, but there's like a formula to how 98% of their riffs are made with the like odd meter cycle that repeats on top of a 4/4 thing. until you reach 8 or 16 or 32 bars, and then you have to truncate the last cycle to fit within the 4/4 period, and pretty much everything is like that, and that's really peculiar in a way, but it sounds really cool, and it's very like, what do you say, if you imitate them, you sound like them, like a worse version, pretty much. But yeah, it was really interesting stepping into that world, and I've been for sure dabbling with polymeter and polyrhythm and rhythmically tricky music in my past. So I was kind of like primed for the gig in that way. But still an interesting experience.
Man, all that stuff cooks my brain. But amazing,
Yeah.
it would have been fun jamming with those boys. They're good dudes, so it would have been, it would have been a real fun experience getting out there. But of course, the $1 million question before Zoom and the robots kick me off is, Australia, mate. We, little plane trip down under.
Yes,
upside down.
It's there are some plans in the works. It's still very early, and we're discussing some interesting things for 24.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have high hopes. We've been in touch with people in Australia earlier in our career, but it never was feasible for mainly, I guess, financial reasons. We're not a very big band, and so it's always a little bit of a gamble, I suppose. Maybe we can turn things around with now that we're back with a new album and
dude. I know so many people that love Scar Symmetry down here, especially the musicians,
nice.
the guitarists and stuff. Like,
yeah,
love your work, dude. Like they froth it. So if you came down, you'd have lines up everywhere, man. Guaranteed. It'd be amazing to see you boys down here, especially being 24 is was it next year's 20th anniversary?
Yeah, we actually got a whole bunch of anniversaries coming up. Next year is the anniversary of the band forming.
That's right. Yep.
05 will be the anniversary of the first album. The first album was never very popular, so I don't think we'll do anything about like celebrating that. But then the year after that, it's gonna be Pitch Black Progress, and the year after that, Holographic Universe. Oh, that one came out in 08, I think. Yeah. Well, so there might we might do like a Pitch Black Progress anniversary tour, but that's in 26. So,
but that's
one thing at a time.
20 years, man. That's definitely something to celebrate. I mean,
yes, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
And what better way than to do it down here in Australia? I'm going to keep pushing for it. So,
yeah, 20th anniversary. We're gonna celebrate that with a 20-hour flight.
20-hour flight down here. Go. Why the fuck did we do that for? But but man, I promise you beers, and I promise you barbecues, and I promise you drop bears and kangaroos and all the good times if you make it happen.
That sounds good. I wanna barbecue a kangaroo.
We do that.
Yes, I've had kangaroo in Sweden once. It was tasty.
Gamey. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but like the big ugly ones, like not the cute small ones, right?
No, not those ones. The big, the ones that would crush your car. You got those.
Yes.
Well, dude, it is an absolute pleasure talking to you again, and I really wish you all the best with the upcoming tour and the album dropping. We've got the links down here, and of course, mate, enjoy. Well, not enjoy. I hope you get through all those renovations too, because I know what it's like being a grown up doing all that fun stuff.
No, it's gonna be good coming out on the other side of the renovations because I bought myself a nice grill last year. So I got like one side with charcoal and one with gas, so I can do both. And now the new kitchen is gonna just be right by the door to the outside area, so it's much easier to like be running around with the marinades and the sauces and everything, So I'm pretty pumped for that, and the new album as well. It's gonna be
that's it. Yeah, of course, the new album. It's coming to your house. I'm coming to your house.
But barbecue.
Yeah, that's barbecue.
Next time we do a hang like this, we're gonna talk about barbecue instead, I think.
Mate, I think that's a good idea. I'm all about it, mate. I'm all about it. When you come down, we'll cook you up a mean feed. That's what we'll do.
Nice. Can't wait, man.
Well, buddy, it's been awesome talking to you, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care, man. Been a pleasure.
Thank you, buddy.